Welcome back to Living for Good Health and Wellness. I am Mary. I'm going to be teaching on a 6-week mini series about emotional capacity or emotional capacity load, which I'll call it. We're going to kind of deal with, I'm a very visual person, so I like visual things because it kind of, for me, it locks in a little bit better. So in most of the 65% of the population are visual people anyways. So we're going to go visual with some of these. So these jars are going to represent emotional capacity load. So there's not just 3 different emotional capacity loads. This just kind of represents, an array, right, of capacities. And as we grow up in life, our capacities should grow. It's called resilience. It's how we adapt and overcome different challenges in life. And the challenges don't take us out or take us under or keep us stuck. We actually grow from them. So that doesn't mean that we're all called to live in a higher capacity load, though. Everybody has different loads based on character and your personal traits and the journey you went through and even spiritual giftings. So all of that makes a difference, right? But we should be growing, right? Same thing with sanctification. We're changing over time. So if you feel like you're always stuck in the lower capacity, I'm going to give you ways, 14 practical biblical ways to grow into different capacity levels. There are some times in life we are just in a smaller capacity level because life hits you and hits you hard. And that's okay. That's okay. We just don't want to stay stuck and stay there for a long, long time, okay? So there's been seasons in my life that I've lived here, and that's okay. And then there's seasons in my life that I live here, and that's okay too. And there's seasons in my life that I live here too. So we're going to talk about the stressors in life. So I have 3 different sizes of balls. I have large balls, I have medium balls, and small balls. And each of them represent an emotional capacity or an emotional load. So there has been a stress inventory done with Holmes and Ray, and they believe, and they show it within their stress inventory, that there's certain stressors in life that hold more of emotional capacity load than others. So me going to a restaurant for dinner or going to the grocery store to pick up dinner would be a small ball. Me grieving over somebody would be a large ball. So there is different emotional capacity loads that people carry. Now, as you go through life, you're going to interact with all of these different large stresses and medium stresses and smaller stresses, and that's okay. That is what life is all about. We're not all called to have small stresses all throughout our life, but we're going to be hit with other things throughout our life. So with the Holmes and Ray inventory of stress, the higher the number, the higher the stress, the higher the emotional load on somebody. So it would be grief, like a loss of a loved one, death, being fired at a job, back-to-back pregnancies, chronic issues in marriage for years and years and years that never get resolved. So these carry a higher emotional weight. So if you have 4 or 5 huge things going on in life, again, it could be more than that, but I'm going to use it as an example within the jars. If you have 4, you're already maxed out. Again, I'm not saying if you have 4 in your life, you're maxed out, but we can only handle so much in each capacity that we live in, right? So, and there are just some things like grief that we are going to have for a while. So even if we have, a medium capacity, you're going to just have to deal with grief for a while. There is a natural healing process with grief, okay? So that doesn't mean that within a month it's not automatically going to go away and it's going to be a smaller ball. No, it's going to take time. So things in life will take time to deal with. And there's other things in life that you can deal with now, right? So, and we're going to go over that in the next 5 weeks. So the bigger balls represent higher loads of stress, emotional capacity, emotional stress that weighs us down mentally. Then we have the medium balls that would represent a 40-hour work week. That would represent, it could be being estranged from your adult children, or that could actually represent a bigger ball. It just depends on the person. So me going to the grocery store would be a small ball to pick up groceries or food, For some people that have social phobias or have phobias going outside, it would represent a huge ball to them. So everybody's emotional load for one thing is going to be different than another person's. So, and then we have the small balls, which are your micro daily things that you do throughout the day. Like, here, like get up at 5:15, drop my daughter off, pick her up, go grocery shopping, make dinner, make lunch, clean the cat litter, pick up the house, vacuum, wash down the windows. So, but over the week of me doing the small micro things in life, even picking up a friend and dropping her off at, whoops, I'm losing them, and dropping them off at the doctor's office. Again, that's one more added thing. So at the end of the week, I have a full jar, right? So can this be stressful? It could be, or it could not be. It depends on the person. But if you have 50 things going on and then you're hit with your husband getting fired and you're hit with your daughter being sick and, all these things weigh on us, right? So there are things that we can do to increase our emotional load or emotional capacity load throughout scripture and backed by science that we can do. Again, we're not all called to live here. Throughout life, we're going to go up and down. And if you have the 50 things in the jar, the micro things, and say you got into a fight with your husband, which was a medium ball, say it's a medium ball, and then you have the 50 things in here because you've done things all throughout the week, and you got into a fight with your husband, that fight, we call it the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? It wasn't the fight. It was the fight plus the 50 things prior to. So things layer on top of things. So one of the first things we're going to deal with next week is going to be rest, because we want to make sure we get plenty of rest and we slow down before we hit that wall, before we hit that overload, right? Because once we hit that overload and then we rest, that's just reactive rest. That's not proactive rest. So proactive rest is getting rest, slowing down, taking time so you don't hit that wall. You don't get overwhelmed, okay? So we're going to go through tons of scripture. We're going to go through 14 different practical ways. There's so many more, but I'm going to pull up 14 practical ways over the next 6 weeks that we can go over to help us deal with what's in the small jars. Forgiveness is one of them. To deal with what's in here. As you deal with what's in here, you start growing into bigger capacities, okay? I hope that gives you a better understanding. Please come back for the next 5 weeks. DM me, drop questions, whatever you have, any questions that you have. I hope this gives you a better understanding. I love visuals. See you back next Friday. Have a good day.